Ever wondered how much safer your work at height operations could be? Imagine a world where every potential hazard is detected before it becomes a problem. Meet Tracker AI's smart PTZ camera system. This isn't just any camera, it's a game changer in work at height safety. Safety is paramount, right? It's the foundation of a productive and happy workforce. Despite stringent regulations, accidents still happen. Traditional methods often fall short in preventing these incidents. Enter Tracker AI's smart PTZ. This advanced system is designed to fill the gaps left by outdated safety measures. Tracker smart PTZ cameras deliver unmatched oversight so you can spot hazards before they become accidents. Offering 24/7 monitoring, it detects work at height safety hazards instantly, no matter the time of day or night. Think about it. Real-time monitoring, automated alerts and even fall detection. It's like having a safety manager who never blinks. Real-time alerts trigger immediate action, ensuring that potential dangers are addressed before they escalate. Automated surveillance significantly reduces human error, making your work site safer and more efficient. It even detects PPE and welding work compliance, ensuring that all workers are properly equipped. Ensure every worker goes home safe. That's the ultimate goal, isn't it? Ready to elevate safety? Stay safe, stay smart. With Tracker AI, you're not just upgrading your equipment, you're upgrading your entire safety culture. The Tracker Smart PTZ camera features advanced AI algorithms that are constantly learning and adapting to new safety challenges. With 360-degree rotation and high-definition video, it covers every angle, leaving no blind spots. You can decide which areas to cover, what to detect in each area through a simple online procedure without ever leaving your seat. Through the setup, you can monitor what is happening on the ground in real time remotely. In a recent case study, a manufacturing plant reduced accidents by 40% after implementing our system. Features include night vision, advanced monitoring for PPEs, work at height and welding activities, including real-time analytics, making it a comprehensive safety solution. Our team of experts ensures the highest quality and reliability, constantly innovating to meet your safety needs. Plus, our dedicated support team is here to assist you 24/7, ensuring that you get the most out of your investment. Join the revolution in safety with Tracker AI's smart PTZ camera system. It's time to take your safety measures to the next level. Visit tracker.live to learn more and get started today. Together, we can create a safer, smarter future for everyone.
Welcome to another episode of Hack Lab Podcast. In today's episode, we are diving into a fantastic topic: global giant versus homegrown players, the battle for India's lubricant market. India is now the third largest lubricant market in the world, valued at nearly $7 billion and expected to cross 11 billion by 2030. The scale and growth potential have drawn international giants like ExxonMobil and Chevron back into India. At the same time, domestic players such as IOCL's Servo, HPCL, Gulf Oil, and Balmerol have deep-rooted distribution strength and market understanding. The big question is, can India's homegrown brands defend their ground against the market muscle, technology, and premium portfolios of global players? And there's another layer to this battle: sustainability. From EV-ready fluids to recyclable packaging and eco-friendly formulations, the lubricant industry is being reshaped by environmental responsibility. For both global and domestic players, the ability to innovate sustainably may decide who wins the next decade. Our guest for today is Mr. Sreejit Banerjee. He's a seasoned, accomplished and recognized petroleum engineer from IIT Dhanbad with over 31 years of cross-functional and multifaceted experience with leading multinational organizations. Thank you, sir, for joining us today.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Great. So, as we begin our conversation for today, I would request you, sir, to introduce yourself for our audience.
Well, as you have said already, I have been always a lubricant professional ever since I completed my engineering in petroleum. I never went for offshore, which was actually my whatever I have studied, but I continued with downstream operation, particularly lubricants. We have worked across pan-India for almost 23 years, working with brands that came to in India post the liberalization happened in 1990. And currently I am working as President Director for our JV operation in Indonesia. I am based out of Jakarta, and it has been a fascinating journey, I can tell you.
Great, sir, and it is an honor to host you today in our show. So, let's get started. India has long been a tough market for JVs and global entrants. What makes distribution and dealer loyalty such a deciding factor?
Well, distribution has always been a key factor for sales of lubricants. It is not easy to build a robust dealer network and reach the point of sales in a country like India with such geographical spread. Finding the right distributor in any market has been always a challenge. The other challenges was that this business always operated on credit, so distributor loyalty was a key factor for sales and collection of money from the market. This is one area where foreign players including JVs struggled for last 30 years. Slowly the distribution pattern changed from conservative family-run distribution houses to new generations taking over and ready to experiment with bigger incentives and offerings from new entrants. Also, many corporate houses came into distribution business in last 25 years, offering avenues to these foreign players for distribution and sales of their brand.
So, sir, how are global players like ExxonMobil and Chevron positioning themselves differently in this time compared to the earlier attempts?
Well, that's a very interesting question. ExxonMobil is trying to sell cheaper range of products suited for Indian market to grow their market share. Previously, they were restricted in selling only the premium global product range in India. But probably they realized that if they have to increase their sales, they have to offer the complete range of products to their customers. And so today they are, along with their premium brands, they are selling the other products which are suited for the customers in India. Chevron has made an entry with partnership with HPCL to cater to the global OEM network with better pricing and securing base oil locally and access to the network of HPCL to supply to the OEM franchisee and service network. In their previous attempts, they were also catering to industries and retail segment through their own network, but found it too challenging to sustain actually.
Right, sir. So, as far as I understand India, we are a market which is price driven. We are very price sensitive people. So, do you think when these foreign brands, especially from the US, when they enter India, is it a better strategy to come with the already established Indian players in the Indian market?
Well, any business need to reinvent and transform in today's age of disruptions, basically. So we have seen a lot of Indian brands also going for OEM approvals, partnership with OEMs, increasing their spends on R&D to come out with products matching performance of products sold by the MNCs, coming out with innovative distributor loyalty programs and also reaching out to consumers and spending a huge amount for marketing, including endorsements by sports icon and movie stars, etc., etc. So it has been a kind of both MNCs as well as the homegrown brands learning from each other and doing a balancing act, I would say, in that sphere. So it is, in a way, it converges to few parameters, which is suited to the consumers basically. So as I have given you the examples, like the foreign brands like Shell or ExxonMobil, initially they focused on only selling of premium products, but they also now selling products which are suited for the Indian markets. Similarly, Indian markets or the homegrown brands have seen from these counterparts, foreign counterparts, that there is also a demand for high performance lubricants which they can sell at a high premium price. So Indian companies are also today selling a lot of, or at least trying to sell a lot of these products in the market.
Right, sir. So moving forward, regarding the synthetic oils. So synthetic oils and high performance lubricants are growing fast. Are global players better positioned here, or are Indian companies catching up?
Well, besides technology and R&D capability, these products manufacturing requires a long supply chain, which MNCs definitely have an advantage with. This is an area where MNCs will have an advantage for next few years. We expect to witness more use of synthetic and higher performance fluids in next 10 years, with more OEMs endorsing use of such products for better reliability of performance and increased warranty, which makes their product offering better value addition for their customers. Indian companies, I think, have to do a lot of catching up in this area.
Right, sir. So, how do you see pricing and consumer awareness impacting this shift to premium products?
Today, customers are much more informed and have access to more information, unlike in the past. Customer awareness has increased significantly, which definitely helps in selling of the premium products. At the same time, the customers are also aware of the input costs and will question if they have to pay for premiums which according to them may not be logical or justified. In nutshell, while it has become easier to convince them on the advantage of using a premium product, but they will also not take it at the face value, but at the right competitive prices.
Right, sir. So, sir, shifting a bit from this question, I was just thinking, like, can you share with our audience, like, some of your experiences back in India when you were working with these multinational organizations? So, how was this lubricant market back in India compared to how it's growing now? Just a bit off from this question.
Well, India has always been quite a challenging market basically. And if I look back, now every company has made India market for their products in a different way. Like I will specifically tell you about a company called Valvoline Cummins, where I have spent a lot of years.
Yes, sir.
And Valvoline was a very unique joint venture because they made a JV with an engine manufacturer, which is Cummins. And they specifically targeted only the premium engine oil segment, the diesel engine oil that was used for the Cummins engine.
Right.
So that was one of the very unique joint venture, and today the company is a very, very successful company selling. In fact, I think Valvoline today sells more engine oils than any other company that operates in India, basically.
Right, sir.
Similarly, if you talk about Shell, Shell always used its global OEM approvals. Shell is a very strong industrial player,
Yes,
and
sir,
Shell
yes.
has always used its global network of OEM approvals and product to target the Indian customers. Because if you have seen, even when they entered in India, a lot of particularly the steel industry was going through a modernization process. And all those plants, all these Tata Iron and Steel Company, the steel plants operated by Steel Authority of India Limited, they were going through modernization process. So they were importing equipments from all foreign players where Shell had an approved lubricant. So it was much easier for them to target those brands basically. So every company has made kind of as per their strength, they focused on their strength, And the exciting part of the Indian lubricant industry, as I have seen, is the market, as you rightly said, today is the third largest lubricant market. So there is enough space in this market. And there were not many players except for the national oil companies and probably Castrol, which stayed in India for a long time. So these companies could take out a share from all these companies. And today, if you see, I think the ratio of foreign companies to the Indian companies will be, the foreign companies will be around 40% of market share. And the Indian companies probably a little higher of 60%. But there was enough space to grow their brand in this market, and which is still here, because I foresee the Indian lubricant consumption will grow robust growth in next decade. And so everybody who is present here today will be benefiting out of that opportunity.
Right, sir. Right, sir. So it is the right time to be in India.
Of course.
Of course. Yes, yes, yes.
In fact, I would not be surprised if you see that if we foresee some new players also entering the new market. You take the example of Chevron also. Chevron initially they tried all kind, they left, and today with growing OEM awareness, and Chevron is very strong globally with OEM customers. They have a whole range of global OEM tie-ups. So these OEMs are also today in India. So they have made this tie-up with HPCL because they thought that it will be easier for them to use their network, at the same time securing base oil supplies at a local price, and to reach out to their already customers who are globally present with them basically.
Right, sir. Right, sir. Sir, like we mentioned that India is top 3 market in the world. Do you can you share like what are the top 2, the first 2 markets are, if you remember, in the lubricant?
See, India, in a number of segments, India is the highest in the world, and in fact. So,
okay.
like we have an agricultural economy. The tractor market in India is the highest globally.
Okay.
So is the two-wheeler market. Today, India is the largest two-wheeler market in the world.
Right.
So there are like this. The construction equipment business is huge today in India. So along with this, India definitely will remain in the third highest market, up from US, China and India. It's going to be like this basically.
Great. Right, sir. So, sir, moving to another important aspect of the industry, which is called sustainability. So the next question would be, how important will sustainability, recycled packaging, biodegradable oils, EV fluids be in deciding market leadership in India?
Well, sustainability will remain a critical factor for deciding market leadership for sure. That is why we are witnessing companies engaged in various ways, from packaging to manufacturing, which are sustainable in nature. The future will see more of biodegradable oils, EV fluids, and higher performance lubricants and green manufacturing practice, with countries bringing in tighter norms and regulations to reduce carbon footprints, global warming and pollution. So this is a segment which is poised to grow actually, and it will continue happening in the pace that's happening. Maybe the transition in the next decade will be much faster than what we have seen in the past basically.
Right, sir. So, sir, I was reading somewhere about green cement. So even the cement industry is going into sustainable mode and manufacturing green cement, So lubricant, I think, is more of chemicals, right? So is there any kind of innovation which you are aware of going on in the lubricant market, apart from our questions?
Well, lubricants is a very, very technology oriented subject, because if you see lubricants, the base oil and the additives part are the main constituents. Now there has been tremendous technological advancement in both base oil manufacturing as well as in the additive technology basically. So it is an area that, or a subject or a product which is continuously evolving with new technology. So lubricant will continue to remain a very technology oriented subject. So, and this is because if you see, even because after all lubricants get consumed in the machineries where
Yes,
always technology is evolving.
Yes.
So lubricant that way will be always a product which will require, apart from what we see, the marketing, the visibility, the advertising, but the lot of technology goes into manufacturing of the products, and it is going to be like this. In fact, you name any technology, those things are there in lubricants, from nanotechnology to whatever. Today EV fluids are distinctly different from what earlier the products that were used in the conventional engines basically. So it is a very very interesting subject, and I see there will be a lot of technological advancement happening in this area for sure.
Right, sir. Thank you for sharing that with our audience. Moving forward to the next question, do you think global players will set the pace on sustainability, or can Indian companies innovate locally at scale?
Well, the data shows Indian companies need to increase on their R&D spends much more than their global counterparts. This is a fact. We don't innovate, we rather replicate. This mindset needs to change, because unless there is an ecosystem that promotes innovation, I don't see much happening in this sphere, and global players will continue to dominate in this area.
Right, sir. This is something even I was thinking, that there is more focus on sustainability in Europe, for say, or US. So I think this is one area where Indian companies need to invest more in R&D and come up with solutions.
Yeah, and it is not only limited to lubricants. If you see, it's good that we are talking about Make in India and all these kind of things today. But I think we have to move from the mindset to innovate actually today, because Indian companies, the R&D spends are minimal. There is no incentive for, we are very much obsessed with numbers, profitability and all these things. We neglect these areas of R&D, and that is why name any of the students who are coming out from the premium colleges with bright minds, if they have to think about a career in R&D, they don't pick up India because the ecosystem is missing. So we have to do a lot of in this area. Now, one of the area we always talk about, we love talking about China, but if you talk about their R&D capabilities, the innovations they make, I don't think today also India can really talk about it basically. So we have to do a lot of things in that area for sure.
Yes, sir. I totally agree with you, sir. I mean, there has to be a total mind shift, and not just at the student level, but it should start from the very top at the government level and trickle down to each and every company and then the students. I think this should be the process.
Yes, we have seen today also, I am not a pessimist person, I am very optimist, but in this sphere whatever is happening is because of individual brilliance somewhere, but this is where the ecosystem need to change. So there has to be an ecosystem where people can really come in and contribute to the growth in the R&Ds basically.
Yes, sir. Absolutely, sir. So moving forward to the next question, which is more about policies. So how can Make in India policies and local sourcing support both competitiveness and greener practices?
See, base oil, which are the most important input in manufacturing of lubricants, still remains to be imported, as India does not produce the quantity of base oil for finished lubricants that's consumed in this market. Other than these, Make in India policies, local sourcing, adoption of greener practices will definitely help in remaining competitive in this market. Today we find most players depending on local production to cater to this market and also using production facility in meeting export demand from adjoining markets. So today the local manufacturing is happening. Even if with all the global players they set up their own manufacturing plant in India. So it's not that they are relying on imports, they are producing it locally. Because they have realized one thing, unless they can produce locally, they will not remain competitive in this market space. And they want to grow this market. So name of the game is volume. So local manufacturing, we have seen last 20 years, almost all the players, global players who are in India, they rely on local manufacturing.
Okay. So, sir, I think that's a positive thing because if they manufacture locally, they are also providing jobs to Indians who are working in those niche businesses.
Yes, absolutely. If you see the lubricant industry, I can tell you about my particular example. You take my case also. Having done a petroleum engineering from, IIT Dhanbad and everything, if this field was not open to me, then how could I have survived this 33 years? And I have made a career out of this area. So definitely this industry has employment generation. They have contributed significantly in this. And it's a good thing.
Right. So overall it is contributing to the economy of India.
Yes, of course.
Okay, sir. Moving forward, if we project outwards 10 years, what does India's lubricant market look like? Will it be dominated by global giants or will the Indian brands hold significant ground?
Well, the current market size in India is about 7.5 billion USD, which in next 10 years I foresee from different studies that it will be something around 11 billion USD in next 10 years. Automotive will face maximum disruption with shift in EV landscape, but India can become an export hub in this segment. EV will gradually reduce the demand for traditional lubricants, but it will also trigger growth of EV fluids. The two-wheeler market in the automotive space will grow more than double in next 10 years because that's a market which has a lot of room for growth. Market size of high margin synthetic lubricants will see growth. In industrial lubricants, usage of high performance and sustainable industrial lubricants will increase. We'll also see use of biodegradable oils, everything coming into this space basically. Now, as I have earlier told that current market share by foreign players is around 40%. There is no data actually to predict what share of market they will occupy by 2035 if I am saying about the next decade. But both foreign and homegrown brand will definitely capitalize on the growth opportunities that India will offer by 2035 because it's a growing market. We are the third largest,
right.
But the market is still growing. So everybody will get a pie of share from this growth.
Share of pie. Yes. Exactly. So today, India is the fastest growing economy in the world. We have the highest growth rates. So I think that's one of the signaling reasons that they should come and invest and work in India.
Exactly.
So, sir, finally, I would like to ask you, for professionals entering the space, you are from IIT Dhanbad, one of the most premium institute in India. What new opportunities will emerge in R&D, sales, manufacturing, and sustainable leadership?
Well, as I've already told, the R&D is an area where lubricant companies heavily depend on. So goes into manufacturing of the products, we will be requiring a lot of fresh engineers who will be working in this R&D. And today, good thing about what has happened, earlier the R&D centers were very much local R&D centers operating, but today they are all networked globally. So they have a laboratory in India doing a specific work, also have an access to a data in any part of the world which is working in the same area. So that is a huge advantage for these R&D people because they need data. So I am very sure that the R&D opportunities will be very, very high going forward basically. Now in areas like sales, digitization has taken a lead and one can reach their customers in many ways and much quickly and need not have to wait physically to contact him. Like when I started my career, I had no other alternative than to go and meet him personally basically. But today the sales are happening over many platforms. Sales are also happening through various e-commerce platforms where customers' awareness becomes a significant criteria for sale to happen. The emergence of new market EVs has opened up the space as well as competition. Similarly, the manufacturing of lubricants over the last 2 decades have gone through tremendous technological advancement, particularly in digitization, artificial intelligence and robotics, leading to increased precise efficiency and product quality. Base oils and additive have gone through technological advancement and modern computer models can predict lubricant performance under various conditions, saving both time and money to develop a product in much lesser time before the field testing. Supply chain has emerged as a critical factor in efficient procurement of raw material which determines your cost. So if you take each an area, I think there are a lot of things happening. And so the opportunity definitely lies for professional in each of these areas, starting from R&D to delivery of the products.
Absolutely. So, sir, one last very basic question. So you have studied in one of the premium institutes in India, and then you made a career in the lubricant industry which spans over 30 years. So students who are coming out of not IITs but other institutions, through your life journey, if there are any lessons which drove you forward, if you can share any lesson with those audiences.
See, the only one thing I would like to share with the young generation today is that during the time we passed out, there was definitely, it was a much smaller world, I would say. Today, if you take my example, who would have thought that having done a petroleum engineering and not working for ONGC, I got an opportunity to come in this field in a lubricant where I had very little idea about. It was on the job kind of training, which I found it very interesting because it had both parts of selling as well as understanding the technicality of the product basically. So, and it is not important which institute you really pass out. Today if you see, there are a lot of students coming out from corners of India who are doing exceedingly well. So that is never going to be a limitation factor. Your passion for knowledge, your passion for working, all these will take you to the next level. So I keep telling that, well, we are also going through a time where there are problems in getting a job. There are a lot of frustration among youngs. I can only advise them that don't get frustrated and work out something and don't try to limit that whatever you have learned only has to be put into the field. Even if you are not getting the opportunity in the area where you have studied, there are adjoining areas where your knowledge can be of equally important. So get into work, do something, and eventually a path will be carved out of
Right,
it
right.
basically. So I personally feel that there are interesting days ahead. Challenges will always be there. It was not that even not only our times when our parents were there were also challenges, different set of challenges.
Right.
So challenges will remain, but opportunities also will
Yes. Right, sir. Right.
are immense. But today, the other thing which I also keep telling my son, who is now out of college and trying to make a career in computer science, artificial intelligence area, that I keep telling them that probably we have worked in an area where I could work 35 years and still working in an industry, in a corporate. You may not be that fortunate because those jobs may not be there. So you have to think about doing something on your own. And so it's a
Yes,
fast changing world, and
Right.
you have to fit in and do. But I am sure about one thing: the opportunities will always
Yes,
be
right.
there.
Thank you. Yeah.
So my suggestions, my sincere advice to the young generation is that look out for opportunities, and life will take you to your destiny basically. There is
Yes,
something
yes.
called destiny also. There's nothing to get frustrated and all these things. And believe in the universe, believe in
Right.
your hard work, and slowly you will realize that everything is
Right,
falling
right,
in
right.
place. The journey may be
Yeah.
little rough. It's always like that. But the opportunities will also be there.
Thank you, Sreejit sir. Thank you for your time. And that wraps up today's episode on global giants versus homegrown players, the battle for India's lubricant market. The story here is more than competition, it is about transformation. Global majors are bringing in cutting edge technology, sustainability practices. Domestic brands bring deep knowledge of India's complex market and unmatched distribution. The winners won't just be those who sell the most, but those who can balance innovation, sustainability, and accessibility for Indian consumers and businesses. Thank you everyone for tuning in to today's episode. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with your network and stay connected for more such conversation with leaders shaping the future of safety, technology, and sustainability. Until next time, take care and have a nice day. Thank you. Bye bye.